Hello everyone, I'm Dr. AJ from the Active Family Chiropractic and Wellness Center. And for this video today, I wanted to go over a very important posture that we find ourselves in every single day, or actually every single night. We're all about educating our patients about the negative stresses that act on the spine. And one very common thing that we hear in our office is, I just woke up this way. And it's true, our sleeping posture can have some negative effects on our alignment and on our spine. Now imagine our sleeping posture is something that we hold for hours upon hours at night. So it can have prolonged negative effects on our posture and on our alignment. So we want to show you how to improve on these postures that we normally find ourselves in at night. Now before we get into these postures, I can't stress enough just how important it is to get a full night's rest. Your spine is very dependent on the amount of sleep that you get at night. This is your body's chance to rest and recover from all the stress that it's been dealing with throughout the day. Now specifically for the spine, as you can see in between every single segment, we have what we call a spinal disc. And your disc throughout the day starts to lose some of its substance, mostly water, because of the effects of your activities or because of gravity. Now what your spine does at night is it uses that time to take in water and fluids in order to regain that normal height within the disc itself, which is important for number one, absorbing shock that comes through the spine, but most importantly, creating a space for your nerves to travel out so that there's enough communication and flow going through the body. So getting enough sleep is very, very important so that we can allow the spine to recover from everything it's dealt with the day before. Now what we're going to show you are three very common postures that we often find ourselves in. Now out of these three postures, one of them is horrible for your spine. And I'm going to get Dr. Ongko in here to help us understand which one of the three it is.
So there are basically three different sleeping positions. There are two great positions for you, but there's also one that's not ideal. So we're going to go through the first one that is the most common, which is the side position. From a side position, ideally you want to have a thickness of a pillow in which your head is basically neutral to the rest of your spine. So you don't want to have something a little too thick, and you can see how that actually tilts your head up, or one that's too thin, which your shoulder is actually still taking a lot of the pressure of your entire body, and your head is tilting down to the ground. So from a side position, ideally you want to have your hip in a fairly neutral position, meaning that there's a pillow right between your knees. And if you have a nice long body pillow, you can also use that to hug, and that prevents that shoulder from internally rotating forward. That will actually take some of the pressure off your shoulder as well. Now sleeping in the back position, which is also quite common and quite ideal for some, is make sure that your head is positioned in such a way that it's not too far forward. If you have a thick pillow, it's going to be way too far forward. If it is too thin, then obviously that might cause some strain in your neck as well. So have something where it is thin enough that it is supporting your neck without tilting your head too far forward. And ideally you want to also have a pillow underneath your knees. For those of you that have trouble with snoring issues when you're laying on your back, a possible solution is actually to stitch up some balls on the back of a shirt while you're laying on your back. Okay, so what it does, it actually pushes or forces your habit to actually lay on your side instead. It allows you to breathe a little better. So for the third position, which is the front sleeping position, is actually the worst position for you. As you can see, the hip is way out of alignment. The lower back is in an extended position, which puts a lot of pressure on this lower back. And Dr. AJ's neck, which is turned usually one to one side, is going to be strained throughout the night. So this is definitely the worst position for it. So if you do have this really bad habit of laying face down when you're sleeping, how do you correct this? Well, I have some suggestion, right? There is no one solution for this. So you're going to have to experiment on your own to see what works best for you. So the best one that I've seen to work is to try to test yourself in the sideline position when you start your sleep. So go ahead and change in that position. And ideally, you want to have always something that you're hanging on to, right? So like a body pillow, or I've even heard of someone that actually used a ball and they stitch it onto a shirt, and that's what they wear at night. And so that kind of prevents them from actually rolling over, because it's actually quite uncomfortable, right? So having a pillow behind your back as well, that's another way of actually keeping it nice and comfortable so you're not rolling all over the place. Test that out, see if that works for you.
Thanks for watching our video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Also turn on your notifications so you're the first to see our most recent content.
And also put some comments at the bottom so that if you have any questions or if you want to see a certain type of videos, just put that right in there.